I am so honored to have our founding sisters, not only the 35th anniversary of the cafe, but for Women's History Month. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the beautiful cafe that you all have built that has served thousands of people. What are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of that it started with 2 sisters and volunteers, and it grew and grew. We could not do it alone. That is our real effort, to work with others to make a difference. And seeing how it has progressed is just wonderful.
I think the most proud moment is that we involved people from the neighborhood, people who were interested in being a presence on the West Side. But 2 sisters are still to this day, Sister Eileen and Sister Annie, argue over who named Bread Roses Café. They each think they did, and so we give them the proud moment of both of them, because it's taken from a women suffragette song. And so it's, don't just give us bread, we want roses, we want beauty, we want dignity, and that's what this place stands for.
When the Sisters of St. Joseph were founded in 1650, we were dedicated to all of which woman is capable and the needs of the dear neighbor. Well, we know now woman is capable of anything and everything, but in those days they weren't sure about that. And so what I'm proud of at St. Joseph Center is the 2 women that started St. Joseph Center, saw a need and responded, didn't keep that for themselves. They immediately reached out, involved community, and particularly involved women. So when it was their time to move on, it was women who they handed over the mission to.
What experiences stand out to you the most? Is there a certain experience that's had impact of your journey with St. Joseph Center?
There are so many clients and staff and people that have touched my life being at St. Joseph Center. In fact, this morning I was able to visit the pantry where I worked for 8 years. I was able to visit the people in the line waiting for their food, who some of them I knew. And it reminded me of a woman, young woman named Maria, who was a client of the pantry. And she would come in with her 4 children and always with such a positive, grateful attitude. And one day when I did her renewal, I found out that she was supporting a chronically ill husband. She was working 2 jobs. She was raising these children. And she said she was no longer able to come to the pantry because of her work hours. And I said, well, maybe we can do something creative and work it out so you can still come to the pantry. What I learned from her was, no matter how difficult circumstances are in life, there's always a way that we can give back. And her selflessness, her love for her family, and her gratitude will always be with me. Maria.
When I was a case manager here, we ran across a person who was having seizures, and she was living in a garage with her 4-year-old and her 6-month-old. Somehow, I got a lot of resources to help Xochitl from Mexico. She had a tooth pulled, but they had kept her off of oxygen enough to really damage her. And so we got lawyers, we got help for her so that she had a settlement. But I couldn't have done that by myself. It was involving other people and resources. And that's what St. Joseph Center does. The net goes out, way out, to meet the needs of people who would never be able to figure out how to overcome their difficulties.
The first time I came back to visit, they brought me to the cafe right here. I cannot believe what I saw. The tablecloths, the flowers, the way they treated everybody. I mean, I was watching everybody else. They treated us, but they treated them just as well. That excited me. I was so excited. I left here telling everybody, do you know what happens at Bread Roses?
What do you want the Sisters of St. Joseph Carondelet to be remembered for?
Building communities of care. That's what this is all about. From trying to figure out, Sister Louise and Sister Marilyn did not want this place to go big. So as the communities of care kept following the needs of the people, they knew that they eventually had to go to St. Clement's School. And that was hard for Sister Marilyn because she didn't want to grow big. But she kept responding to the needs of the people. And then the board said, no, dignity in this community of care. We've got to get out of this school and build a new building. That's what St. Joseph was all about. St. Joseph with Mary and the baby. It was all about finding a better place, going on the road and risking. And that's what I think St. Joseph Center has been all about.
It is all about what woman is capable of. I think that was a big thing from they first started, to see what else could they do besides those who are selling their bodies way back in that they taught them how to do lace. The place now is known for lace making after 1650, right?
Yeah.
And I think here it's I say it's about women, but I say, oh, a few good men. But that's the working together. We never separated ourselves from the dear neighbor, men and women, children. We want to be one with you in doing the work.
I would hope our legacy would be not what we do, but how we do it. And how we do it is with compassion, with respect, with dignity for each person. That's how the Sisters of St. Joseph were founded. That's how Sister Louise and Sister Marilyn started St. Joseph Center. And when I come back to St. Joseph Center and I reconnect with staff, that's exactly what's happening today. Staff that come to St. Joseph Center now, it's because there's something in them that connects with that charism of the Sisters of St. Joseph to serve the dear neighbor with dignity and compassion and give hope through empowerment.
You mentioned this is named after a women's suffrage song. Give us our bread, give us our roses, feed our souls. Well, you are our roses at St. Joseph Center. This institution stands because you all really paved the way in making sure those values continued.